Common sense tells you a simple rule about money. To make a profit, you must sell something for more than it cost you to make it. If a burger costs you $1 to make and you sell it for $5, you are smart. If you sell it for $0, you are an idiot. You will go bankrupt in a week. That is what business school teaches you. But the streets teach something different. The smartest entrepreneurs in history didn't get rich by charging high prices. They got rich by charging nothing. There is a secret business model that rules the world today. It relies on a psychological trick so powerful you fall for it almost every single day. They give you the castle for free, and then they charge you rent for the rest of your life. This is the story of how a traveling salesman changed the world by losing money on purpose. He understood that the most difficult part of business isn't selling a product, it's getting a stranger to trust you. So he decided to remove the only barrier standing in the way, the price tag. Here is how the trap works. The year is 1895. If you were a man living in America, shaving was a nightmare. You used a straight razor, a long, sharp knife that you had to sharpen every morning on a leather strap. It was dangerous. If your hand slipped, you cut your throat. You had to take it to a professional to get it sharpened. It was a hassle. Enter a man named King Camp Gillette. He had an idea. He wanted to make a razor with a thin, disposable piece of metal, a blade. When the blade got dull, you didn't sharpen it, you threw it in the trash and bought a new one. But Gillette had a massive problem. Manufacturing the handle, the metal tool that held the blade, was expensive. If he sold the handle for a profit, it would cost $5. In 1900, $5 was a lot of money. Nobody wanted to pay it. His business was failing. He was drowning in debt. Then he had a crazy idea. He decided to stop selling the handle. He started giving the handles away for free. He gave them to the army. He gave them to banks to give to their customers. He sold them for pennies, far below the cost to make them. His investors screamed at him, "You are losing money on every sale." But Gillette smiled, because he knew something they didn't. Gillette wasn't in the handle business. He was in the blade business. Once a man had the Gillette handle in his bathroom, he had no choice. He couldn't use a different blade. He had to buy Gillette blades. The handle was a one-time purchase. The blades were a recurring subscription for life. Gillette lost 50 cents giving you the handle, but he made 2 cents every week for the next 40 years selling you blades. He turned a customer into a dependent. This is called the loss leader strategy. You lead with a loss to secure a lifetime of wins. Gillette became one of the richest men in history, not because he sold a product, but because he installed a system. He realized that a barrier to entry is a wall. The price tag is the wall. If you knock down the wall, if you make the price $0, millions of people will walk in. And once they're inside, you lock the door. You might think, that's an old story. That doesn't work anymore. Look around your house. Do you own an inkjet printer? You probably bought it for $40. It's a complex machine with Wi-Fi, scanning, and motors. How can they sell it for $40? It costs them $60 to make it. They're losing money on the printer. But go try to buy the ink. The ink costs pennies to make, but they sell it to you for $30 a cartridge. That ink is more expensive per ounce than human blood. You are trapped in their ecosystem. Now look at the digital world. Look at a game like Fortnite. In the old days, you paid $60 to buy a video game. Fortnite launched for $0. Millions of kids downloaded it because, why not? It's free. But once they were inside, they wanted to look cool. They wanted new outfits. They wanted skins. Fortnite makes billions of dollars a year selling digital clothes that cost them nothing to produce. They used the Gillette model. The game is the razor handle. The skins are the blades. Why does this work? It works because human beings are terrified of risk. When you ask someone for money, their brain flashes a warning signal. What if this is bad? What if I waste my money? But the word free turns off that warning signal. Free feels safe. Free removes the friction. But here is the dark truth. When you accept something for free, you are psychologically indebted. You have invested your time to learn the system. You have set up the printer. You have learned the game controls. You don't want to switch. That takes too much effort. So you stay and you pay. The free price tag is just the cheese in the mousetrap. The lesson for you is simple. The amateurs try to make money on the first handshake. The masters are willing to lose money on the first handshake because they know they will be shaking that hand for the next 10 years. Don't build a business that tries to squeeze a customer once. Build a system that serves a customer forever. Sometimes the smartest way to sell is to stop selling.